Week 2 of the NFL preseason, where depth charts and playbooks will be put to the test. It's the Jags and the Lions, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Coming up the second week of the preseason, and we got a solid matchup in store, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Here now to get us started is Logan Cook, and we are underway from Ford Field. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. Well, the Lions offense getting ready to go to work here, and under center, a man whose career has been rejuvenated a bit as of late. In season number 8 now out of Cal, it's Jared Goff.
Rumors of Goff's demise? Greatly exaggerated, it seems. Boy, what a big year he had last year. 29 touchdowns and led the Lions to their first winning season since 2017. Under his leadership, the Lions expect to make the playoffs for the first time in a few seasons.
Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, this defense served.
The red challenge flag making an appearance. Doug Peterson not liking what he saw there. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On 1st and 10, Goff. And his throw here's incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trayvon Walker. What a play by him. That's a loss of 17.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Goff going to move his guys around a bit. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Back deep for Jacksonville, the dangerous Jamal Agnew. This is fielded at the 27. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Well, the Jaguars ready to go on offense for the first time, and they're led by the former #1 pick in the draft. In his 3rd season now, Charles, Trevor Lawrence.
Last year, we got the Trevor Lawrences. So many tabbed to be the savior of the Jaguars. He broke 4,000 yards for the first time and threw 25 touchdown passes and guided his team to the playoffs. This young man, he's been good since the first time he picked up a ball in Youth League. They expect nothing less from him again this season.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now this throw caught left side, and he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 32 on the play.
I think we already know that this guy's going to be ready when they ring the bell for week 1. That play, almost routine for him, but still, nice to know that he's still got it.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now it's Goff. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st down, it's Goff. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Goff going to shift him around. Back to throw again. He'll go right back to St. Brown. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They go play action with Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Now Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery and shedding him off down open field. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Spins past him. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw is Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Goff on 1st down. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, here's Goff. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Goff. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And some room to run now. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
David Montgomery
Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Put a man in motion left, Ridley. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will take over.
David Montgomery and the Lions about set to begin this next series.
He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a first down throw. Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Goff throwing again. This is caught. Touchdown. Jamison Williams from 10 yards out. And the Lions are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Beathard. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. A good pickup there, a 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 53. The kick by McManus is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. 1 second, all that remains. A final shot before break here. Goff. And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to two guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Here's Johnson again on second down.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
To throw is Beathard.
He's got his big tight end, Farrell, complete.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Take it in at the 22. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. And Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected, because to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or two on the practice squad. So then we'll find out if they can actually play.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Here's Hooker.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Hooker now, 3rd and long.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. He may go. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point try now for Patterson.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. They go to Johnson again. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They're running the jet sweep with Jones. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle, Johnson.
Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A first down carry here for Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
That's Levi Onwuzurike fighting through and punishing the offense. A big tackle for loss.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that
play? And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you. They lead big, and a major part of that
has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Jaguars are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll take this into the end zone. A touchdown, Jacksonville.
Dearness Johnson, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. So that one a long 11-play drive. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able. Now Cunningham has the ball knocked out, and the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wondered.
Under pressure now, and Beathard goes down to the turf. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
I think we're both starting to run out of adjectives because this pressure, it's been relentless all game, but none of the prior sacks might be as impressive as the one we just saw.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Beathard to throw.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Down several scores and play behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Jags come up empty on fourth down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Hooker to throw on 3rd and 1.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
They'll go for it. Hooker
being chased out left. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Here's Jackson.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Hooker, he's going to move them around a little bit here.
Here we go.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
60 Eagles. Ready.
2nd and 10, Hooker back to the air.
That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. Touchdown, Detroit. Josh Reynolds, 48 yards.
And the Lions have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Jaguars getting set to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Beathard. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. Now, we'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Beathard. This complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
To throw is Beathard.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They'll throw here. Beathard. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Washington. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 36 yards on the play.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.